Hello, beautiful people. I'm Danny the Teach, and this is Beauty Manifested. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about my garden journey and my garden inspiration, and kind of like where I'm going with all this. So, I did write some notes. I think I'm going to read from my notes, and then I will elaborate. So, I'm having a content party for the girlies, and I'm feeling kind of like I kind of jumped the gun because I just got really excited. I was like, oh my gosh, because I planted a bunch of new stuff in my garden, and I was just so excited to be able to show it off that I just started inviting everyone over for a party. um, but I'm super excited, even though I'm a little nervous because I just planted this stuff, so I haven't really had time to come into like its full, like its peak, like its climax, but I'm still gonna have so much fun and I'm really excited. Anyways, um, so my friend who is a chef is gonna cook brunch for us, and I'm gonna get lots of content for my new brand. And in order to create lots of beautiful garden aesthetics, I have been super busy. Some things that I'm working on now in the garden is just like garden cleanup, making sure everything looks really nice. And then the containers, and I've been thinking about adding more containers. I want to have more window boxes, but I didn't want to spend like a ton of money, so I'm kind of like conflicted, I guess. But yeah, so in general, I would categorize myself as a messy and chaotic gardener. Initially, when I was first exploring my garden identity, I was consuming homestead and permaculture content. And I have like a whole long list of video ideas, and one of them is like why I no longer follow permaculture content. So I'm gonna maybe do that video tomorrow. But yes, when I first started gardening, I was following homesteaders and permaculturists. Some creators who really inspired me were John Kohler from Growing Your Greens, Roots and Refuge, and Callie Kim, which is great. And I am glad that I have learned those principles and I have applied that to my vegetable gardening. They really allowed me to create like a good foundation and a good base for growing food. Um, but my number one garden inspiration now is Garden Answer, and she is a nursery girl, a nursery kid. She grew up her parents having a nursery, so she loves trees, she loves flowers, she loves shrubs, she loves creating like a full experience garden. And just from the natural evolution in my life, I feel like I was always going to go into that area because I truly love design and design principles. Oh, another one I love watching is Central Texas Garden, something, and they do some really awesome videos. But like, I love design principles. I'm very creative. I love art. And so I do love growing my own food. Like, my vegetable garden is my pride and joy. And I love growing all different varieties of food from all over the world. I've made other videos where I kind of talked about the experience that I get from starting my own seeds and how I just feel like an absolute magician. But getting into landscape and design has been such a fun journey for me, and one that I'm so excited to just dive deeper and deeper into. And it fits into my life so much. I'm learning so much, and I'm practicing now in my small space garden, but definitely eventually I will have an estate on many acres, and I'll be able to create mini gardens and mini experiences within my land. And so I'm building that foundation now. I've learned how to do irrigation systems. I've learned how to convert sprinkler heads. Like, I'm learning a lot of the base foundations. I'm in the beginning of my journey, very much the formative years, but I know that I'm going to create some truly like legendary gardens that will go down in history. Like, people will be touring my gardens long after I'm gone. And that's what I really love about gardening. It's a growing and evolving art. It's not like you paint the picture and then it's done. You know, like, the garden's always changing, and plants don't always live forever. They're living beings like us, and so they'll have to be replaced, and you can dig something up and move it to somewhere else on the property. So it's a growing and evolving masterpiece, which is truly reflective of the way that I see my life in general, because I am a growing and evolving masterpiece. I don't define myself in one way. I don't box myself in. I don't put pressure on myself to stick to one identity. Like if I start feeling different, then I allow myself to transform. So that's a little bit about me and how, as I've been evolving, my approach to gardening has also been evolving. So a little side note, if you haven't begun your gardening journey, like just start somewhere. Your garden will reflect your personality and your values and your approach to life, and as you evolve, your garden will evolve. And as your garden evolves, you will evolve. And it's a symbiotic relationship, and it's just really, really beautiful. I can't thank God enough for the value that I've gotten from my garden. So, where was I? I spend a lot of time at Callaway's and have totally fallen in love with proven winners. And so I dream that one day maybe I could be sponsored by proven winners and they can invite me to their events and things like that. That would definitely be a dream come true. And I think I would love to have a nursery on my property once I get to expand. I'm speaking this into existence because I see that being my life. Garden Answer has almost 2 million. She has like 1.75 million subscribers on YouTube. And I mean, what an impact. I think that's just so wonderful. And people love her. It's like a fandom. Like, her comments are always just so lovely, and they're just so loving. And I'm so happy to be in this industry, gardening, because I feel like people who take time to garden have just like the biggest hearts. Like, someone who gives to nature is not going to be like a cold-hearted, cruel person. And so there's no other business or industry that I would rather be in. My number one garden inspiration is Garden Answer. I spend a lot of time at Callaway's and I've fallen in love with proven winners. I am sure my mother will be the most happy with this evolution, as she is much more attracted to formal gardens than permaculture food forest. I love flowers, I love color, I love art and beauty and design principles. Another little side note, I attended the Dallas Art Fair this past weekend with some of my girlfriends, and I'm gonna cry now. Like, I was just like so emotional in that space because I truly admire people who devote their life to art and beauty and pleasure and enjoyment. And like, wow, I've spent the last 4 years of my life in a very competitive industry. I'm an insurance agent, a very salesy industry, a very paperwork industry, and I'm really grateful for this experience because I've learned a lot about, like, I guess, like the masculine approach to business and the masculine paradigm. And so I think that every business, it's not that I think, every business needs both the masculine and the feminine. And so I've spent 4 years in the masculine paradigm, and now I am branching into garden. And because of what I've learned, I know how to structure a business and how to create systems and processes to get the business going. But I feel like in gardening, I'm able to really just like express myself as the artist and the creative being that I am. And I'm so just like overjoyed. I'm so grateful. I'm so inspired. Like, being at the Dallas Art Fair was just so monumental. The amount of money that people are investing in these paintings, the amount of people who were willing to come out just to experience the art that these artists had created, the way that the gallerist worked to present these artists in the best possible way. Like, there's just so much work that goes into it. And just for the sake of beauty, just for the sake of enjoyment. And I just, wow, like, it just really touched me, like, very deeply, because I've been feeling like I feel scared, and I have this limiting belief that the only way to make money is by doing something like serious, something boring. Like, work isn't supposed to be fun. You can't possibly make money by just doing art and enjoying your life and creating beautiful spaces. But going to this art fair and seeing these paintings selling for $100,000, $75,000, like all these thousands of dollars, was just like, it was the inspiration that I needed. And of course, like, these are the top artists and they've worked really hard. They didn't just show up one day and paint a picture and then make $100,000. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but it just showed me, like, this beauty is valued. Art is valued. Like, it's not, it's a luxury. It's a luxury. So I'm really excited to be in a luxurious industry. I think it perfectly suits my personality and my being. And I'm just feeling really, really inspired and grateful and overjoyed. And thank you to all the organizers of the Dallas Art Fair. I know it wasn't easy, but I was really, really blessed to be able to experience that. So I am learning to create a space. So I'm learning to create a space. I'm a little nervous because this will be my first year really container gardening and flower gardening in our hot Texas summers. Fortunately, my front flower bed gets morning sun. It's pretty protected from the scorching afternoon sun. Now that I have my irrigation system, I feel pretty confident in my ability to keep my plants well watered, which is going to be the #1 success habit. Ultimately, I love growing and evolving as a gardener. Each year I gain new skills and I just become more confident in general. I was thinking about the 10,000 hours to mastery theory, and I am about 4,000 to 5,000 hours in, and I'm feeling really good about that. I have butterflies for my event, but I know that it will be a massive success. One of my core beliefs is that inspired action is far more important than perfection. Confidence is earned through consistent action, and I have been consistently showing up for my garden for 5 years now. I have learned so much, and I feel so grateful to all the YouTube gardeners who teach me and inspire me. I am glad to be a creator in this community now, and I get to share what I have learned and contribute with my experience. Thank you, God, for my garden. And I'm just, like, so excited. And, like, oh, sorry. But, yeah, it's not all about followers. It's not about money. It's not about any of those things. Like, it's about creating beautiful spaces in this world. But me being able to just, like, commit myself to being in this field, to doing this, to, like, you know, just, like, taking my art really seriously is a big, big thing for me. And I remember, like, just last year, I was watching a lot of gardeners. I was watching 1 Acre Homestand, and I was watching Ray Halley. I might be saying her name wrong, but I think, like, Ray Halley Garden. And they've both leveled up to new properties just in 1 year. Their followers have gone up so much. They're having so much more impact. They leveled up to new gardens. They're gardening on a larger scale, creating these beautiful spaces. And I'm like, that's amazing, because just a year ago, they really didn't have very many followers. They were just starting out. They were baby gardeners like me. And so I'm so grateful for this YouTube community, because it just lets me know, like, I can do this too. And so I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep sharing my garden and my lessons that I get from the garden. And I just feel so, so, so blessed. I love you guys. If you made it this far in this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're interested in gardening, I do have a couple courses, which are always linked in the bio. Leave me a comment, just leave a heart, leave a message, let me know what you got in this video. And if you're thinking of starting something new, whether it be a garden or whether it be anything, just start. Like, you just don't know what's going to come from it. And it's not about the money. It's not about the followers. It's not about any of that. It's about doing what you love and believing in yourself and going all in on your dreams. Like, don't make it a hobby. Don't make it a hobby. Put your all into everything that you do, especially if you love it, and just see what comes from it. And that doesn't mean you have to quit your job or anything like that, but I've just been reading this book. I think I'm going to do a review of it, but what's it called? Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, and it's absolutely a fantastic, wonderful book. And he talks about, like, quality leisure time and the benefits of having something that you have to work hard for. You have to just read the book, but it's absolutely fantastic. And that really inspired me with my gardening. Like, creating quality leisure time in your life is so important. You cannot just work to live and live to work. You can't. I mean, you can, but it's going to be a miserable existence. Find something that you love. Find something you can work hard on, and find something that will create a lasting impact in the world. That's what I love about my gardening. I'm creating something tangible in the world that is far bigger than me. When I plant a tree, that tree may live hundreds of years, longer than me. It's going to be big. Someone might wrap their arms around it and it's so thick that they can't even get halfway. Like, that's the impact that I'm creating. It's so much bigger than me. And I just love that. I'm so grateful. And I want to create something. I want to create legacy. Legacy over currency always. I love you guys. Stay beautiful. Peace.